I caught my parents lying about being broke while spending my money on steakhouse dinners. The moment I announced I was quitting my six-figure finance job to start a graphic design business, my mother's face went completely white. She started clutching her chest like she was having a heart attack. The thing was, she kept peeking at me through her fingers to see if I was buying her performance, and when she saw that I wasn't rushing over to her, she magically recovered enough to scream at me about destroying our family. You see, for 6 years I've been handing over $800 every month because my parents always have some sort of crisis. Thing is, they own their own auto repair shop, can somehow afford weekly expensive dinners, and just bought a brand new truck. So I've never understood it. I've been their personal ATM since college graduation because they convinced me I owed them for every sacrifice they made. But after watching my mom's Oscar-worthy breakdown over my job change, I finally saw what was really happening. The next week, I cut their monthly allowance in half just to test my theory, and suddenly my mother needed urgent care twice. She'd call me sobbing from waiting rooms about chest pains and unpayable co-pays, but when I'd arrive, she'd be scrolling Facebook. Until she spotted me, then the gasping and clutching would start again. My girlfriend Everly was the one who truly helped me realize my parents were financially abusing me. She'd been watching for 3 years and never once saw them actually struggle, all the while their emergencies perfectly aligned with their wants, not their needs. So I started investigating, and what I found made me sick. The week Mom claimed they couldn't afford groceries, I discovered a receipt in her purse for a $200 steakhouse dinner. When Dad begged for emergency car repair money, I caught him bragging on Facebook about his expensive new tool collection. But the real gut punch came when I cornered Jonah, my brother, alone, and he completely broke down. Through tears, he confessed that our parents had been coaching him for years on exactly what to say to manipulate me. They'd sit him down before every family gathering and feed him lines about how desperately they needed their responsible older son and how worried they were about money. The absolute worst part was learning Jonah's entire college fund was fully paid, while they'd been lying to me about needing help with his expenses. I've been working overtime for years funding their lifestyle while they shielded their precious baby boy from any financial responsibility. When I confronted them with evidence of their lies, my mother staged her most dramatic performance yet. She literally collapsed on the kitchen floor, gasping that my accusations were giving her a heart attack, but I caught her peeking at me to measure my reaction. And when I didn't call an ambulance, she miraculously found strength to stand up and scream about my ungratefulness. That's when my father's mask completely slipped, and he started raging about how I owed them everything because they made me who I am, and successful children support their parents. The second I announced I was cutting off all payments, my mother called Jonah hysterically, claiming I was destroying our family and having a mental breakdown. She manipulated him into begging me to just give them what they wanted because her episodes were terrifying him. I realized they'd been using Jonah too, and weaponizing his fear of their fake emergencies to control me. The following month became absolute hell as they escalated their tactics every time I ignored their calls. My mother started ambushing me at work during her episodes, forcing me to abandon important meetings, while my father began calling Everly directly, claiming I was mentally unstable and needed to be controlled. They even threatened to throw Jonah out unless I returned to being their obedient cash cow, which sent him into panic since he was finishing his senior year. Last week, my mother called an actual ambulance during one of her performances, but when paramedics arrived, she suddenly recovered and claimed she was just stressed about her son abandoning the family. The confused paramedic asked if this had happened before, and Mom got hostile, saying they wouldn't understand family dynamics. I refused to give in, so I let Jonah move in with me. One morning, she left a message claiming she was dying in the hospital, but when Jonah called, they confirmed no one by her name had been admitted. We stared at over 47 missed calls from the last 2 hours, each one a different life-threatening emergency, and Jonah just turned to me with this look of complete exhaustion and asked if we're really going to keep letting them destroy us like this. Full story on channel, linked below.